So we're walking inside the house of Davy Crockett, and this is I was told that this is bits and pieces of the original home of his mother. Now there's nobody here to actually tell me what's original and what's not, so hopefully some of these signs are the headstone out there, the memorial out there is where his mother is buried there, and his daughter, what I was told, is buried a couple miles outside of town. I think he said it was north of here, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you can, this is kind of difficult to read here. Looks like a bobcat or something. Walk up the stairs into the, I don't know if this is an attic, but this was the actual bedroom. It's nice. It's an ox yoke. I don't know if you can see it in the camera.
All right, we're at the site here in Rutherford, Tennessee of Davy Crockett's cabin. This was sort of his last stop before he left and went to the Alamo in Texas. This was not the actual site where his cabins were. I know he had at least 2 cabins just east of town here, across the Rutherford Fork, between the Rutherford Fork and the South Fork of the Obion River here. Those cabins were actually torn down, the last one, and the logs were brought up here, and some of those logs were actually used to build this replica site here. Over here we have his mother, Rebecca Hawkins Crockett, a grave site of her, but this was not the original grave site for her. She was actually buried probably 3 miles east of here, out in the Tyson Store community. one of the oldest communities in Gibson County that was established. It was the first post office for the Rutherford area, was out there at Tysonville. And anyways, they actually dug her up and had brought her here for the memorial here for the Rutherford Museum. That area out there is real old, Tysonville, Tyson Store area. There's a church out there, North Union Church, North Union Cemetery, that has a lot of relatives of the Crockett's and the Tysons, some of the people who first settled that area. There's actually still a building standing out there between North Union Church and where they dug up Davy's mother. It's the original Tyson Store. Like I say, it's the Chesterville post office. It was the first post office for the Rutherford area. That building is still standing, and it's supposed to be one of, if not the oldest standing building in Gibson County. And oddly enough, it was built by my 5th great granddad, Benjamin P. Tyson, who come over here and established that place. It was a stagecoach stop on the original stagecoach road that was the Trenton to Troy road that eventually turned into the Jackson to Hickman road. It was a freight road that traveled, you know, west of this area about 3 miles through the Tyson Store community. It was licensed as an inn in 1832, so people would actually stop and stay there. And it was a mustering point for Confederate soldiers there during the Civil War, early parts of the Civil War. So anyways, all that sort of ties into the Crockett's and the area where they were first established.
And you are what relation to Davy Crockett are you?
So I'm Christian Kemp. I don't have my records looking at it. I believe Davy Crockett would be my 4th grade uncle. I'm a direct descendant of his mother. I know I'm kin to Benjamin P. Tyson, who built that old place out there. He's my 5th great granddad. I've recently looked at that, but I need to do more research and make sure I'm telling you right on Davy Crockett, but I think that's correct.
All right. All right. Thank you.
Is that good?
This is where Davy Crockett's mother is buried now, like he was saying. Well, they dug her up and brought her here. So we're a couple miles away from the site of where the log cabin that we took a tour around, and this is the site of the first cabin of Davy Crockett. This house here, I was told, was hit by a tornado, so nothing here has anything to do with any cabin of Davy Crockett. It's just the site where his cabin was.